Усім доброго дня. Ми розпочинаємо роботу в українській.
Good afternoon. We start our work at Ukraine Crisis Media Center. Now the floor is given to Colonel Andriy Lysenko, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson on NATO-related issues. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. The last day of October was marked by heavy shellings delivered by Russian occupation forces at positions of the armed forces of Ukraine. The enemy used banned weapons, the weapons that are banned by the Minsk agreements, 122mm artillery, 120mm mortars, also the weaponry of IVF and small arms. The Lugansk sector, the occupants twice delivered fire at our positions with the use of mortars of 120mm of caliber near Kryakivka, launching 4 mines, and also in the region of Orekhova. There, they launched 5 mines. Near Krymsk, the enemy twice opened fire with the use of mounted grenade launchers and small arms. Ukrainian forces refrained from returning fire at enemy provocations. The Donetsk sector, Russian occupation forces 7 times violated ceasefire. During the day, the enemy delivered precision shelling of our positions with the use of weaponry of IFV, grenade launchers, small arms, and large caliber machine guns, twice in the region of Avdiivka and near Kamenka, Opetne, Pisky, Zaitseva, and Lugansk. In prevailing majority of cases, the defenders of Ukraine provided tough response with the use of automatic grenade launchers and small arms. In the Primorsky sector, the militants of the illegal armed groups delivered 6 shellings of our positions. The most powerful lasted 2 hours, from 4 till 6 p.m. Russian occupation forces covered positions of ATO forces near Shirokina with the use of artillery fire 122mm of caliber, on the whole launching 22 shells, and also used mortars of 120mm of caliber, launching 16 mines. Also, twice in the region of Starognatievka, Shirokina, and Talakivka and Vodyane, the enemy used grenade launchers, small arms, and large caliber machine guns. Also, near Talakivka, the occupants delivered fire with the use of weaponry of IFV. And in all cases, the defenders of Ukraine provided adequate response with weapons that are not banned by Minsk agreements. On the whole, during the last 24 hours, along the line of confrontation, the enemy delivered 17 shellings of ATO positions, including 16 precision ones. Servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine 13 times provided adequate response, and we should remind that defenders of Ukraine for a long time have been adhering to the Minsk agreements and to ceasefire regime. But in case of a threat to the lives of defenders, commanders on site take decisions to return fire with the use of weapons that is not banned by Minsk agreements. And unfortunately, yesterday at 8:45, in course of shelling by Russian occupation forces near Opetne, 1 Ukrainian serviceman died. Also, in course of enemy shellings near Kamenka, Opetne, Shirokina, 5 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine were wounded. All of them were promptly evacuated to military mobile hospitals, where they are provided with all necessary medical help. Our hearts go out to the families and relatives of the servicemen who died. According to information provided by main intelligence department of MOD, taking into account the limitation of financial and material and technical support by Russian Federation next year, Russian commanders in occupied territories of Donetsk and Lugansk oblasts are trying to implement measures in order to save available stocks of material resources, in order to prevent further stealing of military property in units and large units of so-called 1st and 2nd Army Corps of Armed Forces of Russian Federation. They organized the total inventory works, and in order to hide stealing and avoid responsibility for this, those that were made this year, commanders of services of Russian occupation forces, they made an order to quickly produce fake documents to write off shortage of food, fuel, and lubricant materials, clothes, medicines, engineering, and other property, and weaponry, and ammunition, and explosive substances. Also, occupation power in the territory of Donetsk and Lugansk Oblast to find new ways how to enrich themselves and introduce so-called legal initiatives in order to limit the rights of citizens when in order that they pay to representatives of so-called state power, and they force people to pay additional money for speed up of documents for buying real estate or land plots and LPR. And the representatives of a group of civil and military cooperation in the region of ATO continue to organize coordination and accompanying and provision of humanitarian help to local communities, civil population, and servicemen, schools, boarding schools, and kindergartens. And they deliver medicines, food products, construction materials, stationery, and many other needed things. Also, officers of Group of Civil and Military Cooperation Maryanka provided safe movement and accompanying two representatives of International Medical Corps in the direction of Mikhailivka and Berezave for planned humanitarian work with local population. Also, the representatives of the group held in Maryanka meeting with the representatives of volunteer organization, and in the course of this meeting they discussed the issue of provision of humanitarian help to local population. Officers of Group of Civil and Military Cooperation Bizdyansk organized work of representatives of NGO Doctors Without Borders in Lebedinska. Therapists and psychologists accepted and provided medicines to 26 local residents. Representatives of Group of Civil and Military Cooperation Moldavaha provided help from International Charity Fund Yelizaveta to Volnovahi Center of Rehabilitation of Challenged Children. The officers brought toys and clothes and footwear for these children. If you have questions, please ask. If there are no questions, this is the end of press briefing. Thank you.